Good evening. It's Tuesday, April 12th. I'm going to talk about some business jargon that's popped into my mind recently as being newly relevant, and that's the phrase price point. And I don't know how long the business community, retail community has been using that bit of jargon. In grad school, we specifically did not talk much about business. It was sort of frowned on. But even then, when I dealt with the gallery, they weren't using price point. Or maybe I didn't hear it right. But basically, the concept runs like this, that the actual specific, 1898 price you put on a pot isn't really important. People aren't counting their pennies that way, or at least not the people that are shopping for pots. What you have is the price point of just under $20 or about $20. And this came up for me recently as I've been noticing various inflationary things going on. And thinking about the broader culture. Okay, so in the broader culture, we have people, have to be careful about decisions they make with a single dollar. And then we have people who don't actually start being careful till like it's a $5 thing. And so on, in various stages up, and $20 and so on. And these end up translating, emotionally to price points. I remember once there was a family shopping for a wedding present, and they had budgeted $50 to the idea, and fell in love with some pot I had made, but it only cost $35. So they walked away, and we got into this conversation. It's like, don't you like you seem to like the pot? Yeah, but we need something more expensive. And I said I could raise the price. But anyway, by then it was too late. No, but somehow they had set themselves up internally, emotionally, to the point where they were obligated to give something, that was around $50 to this person, that they couldn't be cheapskates with my wonderful pot. Okay, so we got the price. So for the people who are learning the business of being a ceramicist, this comes in two warnings. Okay, so the one warning is it's probably not worth fussing over whether your object is, $19.14 or $18.98. I can't even think of why you would make one decision or the other. And frankly, to the customers, it doesn't matter either. If they bother to think about it, they'll only be confused by it. They do seem to be a little depressed when I just say $20. It's the same price point, but I think they're not used to people being that direct about it. They're used to imagining that, well, it was less than $20, or I don't know what they're imagining. The other is a lesson from Indiana Potter, and I'm blanking on his name right now, but he was a very wise man, and he was a professor there for many years. And one of the things he advocated was having something, again, it wasn't using price point as a language, but in every price range. So if someone found his studio out in the country, they wanted to buy something as a souvenir, as some proof that they had found his almost completely hidden studio. But their ability to pay was going to be wildly different from visitor to visitor. So he tried to always have something in every price range, from a $2,000 sculpture down to some sort of $2 little thing for a kid. And I'm deciding, in part as an anti-inflationary measure, that I may need to have more $10 items than I do right now. I have a few token $5, occasionally some $10, but basically my prices start at $20 for a coffee cup, and I don't think I can fight inflation by lowering my prices in general. Uh, I can fight inflation by holding firm, by not telling lies to the world about my increased costs, the way some corporations seem to be doing. But I do want to add some $10 items. I'll have to figure out what they'll be. But again, it's a price point issue. Is that there's this hole in my selection, and there's other holes higher up. I mean, there was a gallery, my best gallery ever, down in New Orleans. Asked. I mean, she really wanted items in a $50 to $200 range, and at that point, I had a hard time imagining, what to provide that would match that. I think I have a better sense of it now, but back then, I was hard pressed to think of things to put in those price points. So anyway, it's all this strange game of what people want and why people want it and what they're willing to pay and what they expect to pay and what they aren't willing to pay. And of course, if it was easy, anyone could do it. Have a good night.